morning, boys and girls. How are you? It's Miss Lisa, your art teacher. Remember me? I remember you. I remember each and every one of you. And I miss you. And I want to be in class with you. And it's gonna happen. So let's all just sit back and relax and wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. But it's gonna happen. So don't worry. Keep your chin up. I'm coming. Well, listen. How did you like that video about Picasso? How cool is that guy? How do you like Cubism? I hope you liked it. You know why? You're doing a project that's in Cubist form. It's Frankenstein's head. Can you see him behind me? I put him on Woody's body. You like that? Frankenstein Picasso style. Now I sent everybody home and to class everything you need. Oh, by the way, did you enjoy the 1-point perspective lesson? I hope you did. It wasn't too much, was it? I really want to see some of them. Send me a picture. Send your teacher a picture. She'll send it to me. I want to see them. Please, please. Okay. So, everybody out there has a piece of purple construction paper. This is going to be the foundation for our head. We have 2 shades of green, a lime green and a green green. See behind me? Those are going to be the 2 faces. Cubism is all about seeing one face in different perspectives. Well, not just one face, seeing everything in different perspectives. See how you had a 1-point perspective? That's one perspective. But imagine seeing that one picture at different perspectives. First, the pumpkins are in front of you, but we also see the side view of them, and then we also see behind them. How could that be? It's a 2-dimensional shape or form. It's just a 2-dimensional image. So that's flat. How can I see the front of the pumpkin and the back of the pumpkin at the same time? Well, Picasso figured out a way to show us that. See the face behind me? That face is looking sideways, but wait a minute, he's looking straight at me. How could that be? How could I see him looking at me at the same time from 2 different perspectives? Sideways view and front view. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to make our cubist face Picasso style. Very interesting, isn't it? It's a very, very, very cool way of doing things. And I hope you enjoy it. So, like I said, we've got the purple paper, the 2 greens, which are our 2 faces, front view, side view. Get it? We're also going to have a long piece of black construction paper, which this one you're going to have to cut. I did not cut this for you. It's not a lot of cutting. I kept it easy. And we're going to need white paper and a little piece of green paper. Ooh, what do you think we're using those for? This is going to be the neck. And this we're going to use for the eyeballs and our teeth. Okay? So, how about we get started? Starting something nice. All right, what you're going to do first, we're going to take our lime green paper. To do this project, you're going to need a pencil and you're going to need a ruler. Don't fret if you don't have a ruler. Just use the edge of an envelope, the edge of a book. We just need to make one straight line right down the side of this paper. So no fretting. I got to get my ruler. What did I do with it? It's right where it belongs. Isn't it nice when you find things where they belong? It's a very novel idea in this house. Okay, let's get my helping hand. Here he is. Blue Blue. Blue Blue's going to help me. So what you're going to do, I'm going to bring you down here so you can see me. You ready? Here we go. Okay. I want you to put your ruler. I don't want you to go to the edge. I don't want you to go to the middle. I want you to go in between the middle and the edge. So it's just this little section at the end. And we're going to make a straight line going down. Okay? So let's get our pencil and let's make a straight line going down. Now, if I go too fast, don't worry, because this is a video. You can always pause me. So now we have one piece of paper that has a line going right down the side here. What I want you to do now is we're going to make 2 more lines. We want to divide this face into 3 sections. So we're going to put a line about a third of the way down and another third down. Because we want to divide it in 3 sections. So you kind of just eyeball it. Let's see, that's about a third here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to go down. Here's my first line, and then I think I'll go right about here, okay? And here's my next line. This is not about being perfect. It's a cubist face, so believe me, it's not about being perfect. All I did was I made guidelines, because from this point, we're going to make the profile of one person. So this first section up here is where we're going to make our forehead. So you know what, I can make these lines darker because we're not going to use this side, we're going to flip it over. This way you can see really good what I'm doing, okay? Halloween is coming, Halloween is coming. Okay, there you go. See how I have those lines? So now this first one right here, we're going to make the forehead. So what does the forehead feel like? So your forehead kind of protrudes out a little bit. So I'm going to make my forehead protrude out a little bit. That's all it is, just your forehead. See how it comes out? Okay, what's next then? The next section is the nose. How am I going to make my nose? My nose and my mouth are going to be in this section. So do I want a big nose? Maybe. And how about my lips? Do I want big lips? There. Look how I made mine. Let me make it a little darker so you can see. I'm having my mouth open a little bit. My lips aren't together. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. And next I'm going to make my chin come all the way in and go all the way out and curve back in. Actually, I'll make it curve down like that, down to the corner of the paper. Okay, he's got a big witch chin, but he's Frankenstein, so makes it more the interesting. And maybe I made that chin a little too big. How about I make it a little smaller? So now I'm going to erase it. Again, this doesn't matter because once we cut this out, we're just going to flip it over and you won't see the lines anymore. Okay, so let's put this, hang on one second, I gotta find my thing. Hold on, Lucy. Okay, we're gonna need our green construction paper. Let's just get it out. We're going to cut the profile first, okay? So we're gonna cut out the profile. So let's get out our scissors and let's cut the profile. Keeping scissor safety in mind. Okay, so here's my profile, but when I flip it over, you don't see any of those lines. Now what I want you to do is put this on top of the green paper. Align it, so here's my profile, and make sure it's aligned on this side, okay? See that? Because what we're going to do is we're going to cut a curve in the side here, because this is the back of his head. Do you see that? So now we want it to look, and it's going to be the back of the other side of his head. See, we don't want a straight edge because your head's not a straight edge. So we just gave it a little curve. And by keeping it on this side and cutting together, it's going to be symmetrical, the same on the opposite sides. Okay? Very simple. That's all you have to do with the green paper. All right? So now we're going to take out the purple. Let's put this aside for a second. Take out your purple paper. And that little green square that I made for you. Okay? This is going to be his neck. So we're going to need to put the neck at the bottom of the paper. All right, so let's get out our glue sticks or our glue, whichever one you choose. I'll use some glue. And let's glue this piece down. Okay, right at the edge of my paper and in the center. All right, so we've got the neck. So now we want to place our face on top of the neck. We want to make sure that we have a purple outline and the faces are lined up. Whoops. Okay, so let me see if I want to spread this out a little bit more with a little bit green. Play with it until you feel that it's just right. And when you when you think it's just right, then we're going to glue this down to the paper, okay? So I'm going to put my green paper down first. And remember, when you put the green paper down, make sure the curve that you cut is on the outside. Alrighty? So let's glue down the paper first, the green one. Alrighty, let's see. My goodness, my throat is so bad today. I'm sorry, I keep coughing like that. Okay, so I left a little bit of a border on the purple paper. And now I want to glue down the other side. Whoops. See, here's my pencil side. That's going down. My curve is on the outside of the paper. And I'm going to line it up so I have a little bit of a purple edge. Okay? So let's get the face all glued on. Don't be cheap with the glue. We want to stick, right? We want to stay. You could use a glue stick. You could use whatever kind of glue works best for you. Okay. There we go. Alright, so far we have a profile that's looking in this direction. And we don't really see much here. It could be an odd kind of a profile. But once we start adding the features, everything will make more sense, okay? So now, remember that black piece of paper I was telling you about? It's time to take that out, because you're going to have to do a little bit of work with the black construction paper. Now you see this green paper? I don't throw this away. I put this in my scrap box. That's good scraps. I could use that for something else. Alright, so let's get our pencil and our ruler out. Okay. We need to cut a long strip that's about 1 inch wide. So if you look at your ruler, you could see 1 inch is number 1. So you want to line the 1 up with the edge of the paper. Here's where the 1 is, right here. And then go 1 inch away and make a mark. Make a mark right down there on the black paper. And go to the top of the paper and do the same thing. Line the 1 up with the edge of the paper. Here's where 1 inch is. Now mark it again. So now I have 2 marks. So what I want to do is I want to connect those marks. So I'm going to line the ruler up with the first mark. And here's the second mark. And I'm going to make a line going straight down. Can you see that? And then what do you think you're going to do next? You're going to cut it. Absolutely. So cut that strip down. You have 1 thin strip. I'm sorry, my throat. Oh my goodness, let me go get a drink of water, okay? Okay, I went and got some water. Okay, so we have 1 strip that's 1 inch, and now we're going to do the same thing, but it's only going to be 1/2 inch. So here's the 1. Now we only want 1/2 inch. So make that mark down at this end. Here's my 1. We want half of that. And make the mark at this end. And then we connect our marks with the ruler. 1, 2. I'll make a big long line. So now you can see it. See how thin it is? It's only half of an inch. And let's cut that out. Okay, now with this one, let's fold it in half. Let the corners meet. And wherever we fold it in half, let's cut it in half. Guess what? We're going to do that one more time. Fold it in half. And then cut it. And we're going to do the same thing with the other piece. Fold it in half. And then cut it. So let's put this on the side. Let's bring this over here. Okay, now for this piece, we want to cut 2 strips. Let's measure this. I want to cut this in half first. Let's fold this in half first. This will make it nice and easy. Fold this in half. And let's cut it. Right in the half mark. Let's fold it in half again. This way you don't have to measure. All the measuring's done by us folding. And cut in half. And guess what? We're going to fold it in half again. And then cut again. And fold this in half. We're going to do the same thing for this one. And fold it in half again. Okay, now, what is that? This last piece we're going to save because we're going to use this for the mouth, and we don't know how we're going to make a mouth. So let's start with our hair. I'm going to put this upside down so you guys can see what I'm doing. So our hair is going to go along the top here. So we don't need the full length of it, but we're not going to cut it off until we're done. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to just cut, we can do that. We'll do that first. You want to measure? Let's measure. Let's just make a little mark how far across the hair goes. And you could trim that right off with your scissor. Okay? Now let's cut some zigzags in the hair. Because Frankenstein has like this really pointy type of haircut. I don't know who his barber is, but I don't know if I'd ever go to him. See how I'm just cutting little triangles into the paper to create Frankenstein's hair. Cutting, cutting, cutting. You don't want to go all the way through. And if you do, when you cut the paper in half, just glue it back when you put it on his head. And just position it right next to the piece you cut off. Don't worry, this is a fun project. This is nothing to be stressed over. Alright, so let's get all these triangles off of here. And let's see how it fits. Perfection! So let's glue his hair down. That's our first thing. With the black paper. I'm going to just do one bead right across the top of his head. And then I'm just going to place this on top, making sure the pencil lines of any kind are face down. And we are good with the hair. How's that look? You like that? All right, I think my dog's scratching at the door, so hold on one sec. Okay, my dog's with us now. She's going to do the project too. That's the joys of being at home. Okay, so now we have his hair. So next, how about we set up his eyebrows? Where will his eyebrows go? Ugh. Well, this is his side profile, so this eyebrow is going to be on an angle. And this is when he's looking straight at you. So this eyebrow is going to be like right on top of his eyeball looking straight at you. So eyebrows have a little bit of a texture too, like the hair does. So how about we cut into the eyebrows on the bottom just like we did with Frankenstein's hair up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these little triangle shapes in here as well. Give it kind of like an eyebrowy effect, that there's hair. It's not just one straight piece of cardboard or paper. Give it a little bit more of a abstract, realistic look, if that's possible. So I'm just trimming in his eyebrows with these little triangles that I'm cutting into the paper. See how I did that? And now I'm just going to put this one on the angle because, again, don't forget, this is the side profile. And let's do the same thing to this eyebrow. Here's the side with all the pencil marks. Okay. And this one's going to be straight up and down, straight across. Okay, so I'm going to glue this one in place first, okay? So I'll put a little glue on my eyebrow. Flip it over. And make sure it's exactly where I want it to be. How's that? That look okay? All right, now let's glue this guy down. Okay, so I have my eyebrows. How's that look? Look good? Okay. Next, I'm going to work on the bolts. We got to give him some bolts. All right, so let's get the other two pieces that are the same size as the eyebrows. Where is that other piece? Here we go. All right, with this, we are going to cut these both in half. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You could fold it in half if you want, or you could just go ahead and cut. I'm going to just cut. Because one is going to stick out like that, and the other one's going to crisscross it to make the T. Make sure your pencil marks are facing down. So here we have his bolts, so let's glue down his bolts. Here's his first part of his bolt, attached to his neck. And I have no nails to grab this. And here's the second part of his bolt. There we go. Same thing on the other side. Ugh, no nails. Terrible. I can't lift it. Ah! Okay, put a little glue on the back of this. That's where the pencil marks are. There's the bolt. Now I'm going to crisscross it to make it a letter T. So I'm going to line that right up to the edge of the black, coming towards it. There. All right, see how we got it so far? Let me hold this up. Because now is the hardest part. The hardest part is making the eyes. Okay, see all my glue marks? They're going to dry and you're not going to see that. That's the beauty of this purple glue. It dries clear, I hope. So, okay, so this is so far. Is it looking cubist to you? Looking cubist to me. I see you looking this way, but I see you looking that way. So we need to give them eyes. All right, so come on back down and let's work on the eyes. Okay, I don't want you too far down. All right, now for the eyes, this is going to be a harder one than just his face. So we're going to get our white paper out. Where's the white paper? There we go. I'm going to get the white paper out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the first eye, which is looking straight at us, because that's going to be the easiest one. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this paper in half so that we know we have enough for both sides. And we're going to cut off the top just so we know we have enough for the teeth. Okay, so let's just get rid of that. Hang that out over there for the teeth. And we're going to cut this in half. All right. Now let's get our face out. I'm going to start with this eye. So the size of this eye is about the width of this paper. So an easy way to make an eye is to make 2 dots, one here and one right about here. That's how wide I want my eye to be. See the 2 dots? So now I'm going to make a little smiley face. How's that for a smiley face? Then I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to do the same thing. Make a smiley face. There's my eye. So now I could cut this out. Ready? Cut out your eyeball. Well, the eye. This is where the eye goes, and the eyeball is. And then we're going to add the black part of the eye. And that won't be hard because we've already got the size of the eye. So let's figure out, let's say it's about the same. We got it about this wide here, and let's make a circle. My eye goes continually like this and like that. So if you want a big black circle, let it fill that shape inside. Can you see what I'm doing? Here's my eye. I placed the paper over it. I kind of just extended the line here and extended the line here so I could see how much space my black eye in the center needs to be. So now I could cut this circle out. You could make it as big or small as you want. You didn't have to measure it. You could have just eyeballed it. I get it, eyeballed it. You could have just, tried to estimate in your head. All right, so here I have one eyeball. Remember, the pencil marks go face down. I just made a big black eyeball. See how that looks? You don't have to make one that big. You can make a smaller black circle. So this is the face looking at you. Does it look like he's looking at you? He's looking at you. There you go. So we got one profile here. So how about we glue that down so we don't lose it? Pencil marks face down. We don't want to see any pencil marks on our picture. Oh, got no nails. Here's my eye. Now let's glue down the little ball in the center. Now we need to do the profile eye. That one's not as easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the white paper again, and I can actually use the piece that I've already used. And I'm going to line it up with his eye. Now this eye is sideways, so that's going to be a V, a sideways V. Not hard, just a sideways V. And you figure if he's looking sideways, his eyeball is going to come out like that. It's not going to be flat. So we've got the sideways V and an eyeball that comes out. It protrudes out and kind of curves a little bit in. Whoops, like an ice cream cone we're making. It doesn't go straight across. It's a little bit of a curve on one side and a big curve on the other side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this eye out. See what I'm doing here? Then we'll check and see if we like the size. See, it looks like an ice cream cone. Now, do I like the size of this eye? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. But now, you see this curve? We're going to cut that curve out carefully, okay? So we're just left with the bottom of the ice cream cone with a little bit of a curve. So now we can glue that down. Don't lose that other piece though, that's important. Okay, so this is starting to look like he's looking at the other guy. Now take this piece and trace it on the black paper, because this is going to be the eyeball that's looking to the side. And then cut it out. Once you trace it, cut it out. Pencil side down. You see that? See how that worked? Very simple. So now let's glue that side down. And we're going to revisit this too because we're going to outline it with a marker, a black marker. Okay. All right, so guess what part we're up to now? Now we're up to the mouth. So we have this big sheet of black paper and some little ones that we can practice what we want to do. Do we want a big open mouth? Well, let me see. If we wanted a big open mouth, I'm going to make a big piece right away. We're going to try a few pieces, okay? Try a bunch of different mouths. Does this work? Let's see. Does it look like she's smiling from the side? Does it look like he's smiling to the front? So we have that option. Let's try another one. Do we want them to have more of a, oh my goodness face? Let's see. I'm going to make it curve all the way around. Does it look like she's saying something excited, or does it look like he's forlorn, or what's going on? That's another choice. How about we can do, maybe we can just take our happy face and make it a sad face. Does it look like she's saying something sad, or she's worried about something? And does it look like he's sad or worried about something? So this is all your choice now. This is where you decide. You have enough black paper to work with to try different shapes. So you can do that. How about I try this one more. I'm going to try. Nope. I'm doing this upside down. Oh. Let me see. He's not doing that. Nah, that one's cute too, but I don't like that one. So what do you think? Which one should we go with? Should we go with the real happy face where they're both happy? Do you like that one? Want to go with that? All right, I'm going to go with that one too. Now what we need to do is we need to glue this down. Once you decide what kind of face or smile you want to have, smile, frown, let's put them right over the lips, halfway through, because half is his and half is hers. And now it's time to add some teeth. So we've got our white piece left. So let's cut in a bunch of little teeth. Don't have to measure, don't have to count. Use as many teeth as you want. But the important thing is place them first. You want to place them first to make sure you're putting them in the right place. They're the place that you like. Okay, these teeth I made a little bit big, so I'm going to cut them down even smaller. Yeah, I want smaller teeth. I like that better. I'm making smaller teeth. How's that? Is that enough feet? I think I'm going to leave it just like that. I like the way that looks. So now I'm going to glue the teeth down. And it's wherever you choose. There's no right or wrong. You're making art. You do it what makes you happy. When you look at it, does it give you a good feeling? Do you feel like, yes, that's what I like? That's what's important in art. Even though these are all the same project, you can make it your own. Make it your own with your face, your smile, your teeth, your eyes, okay? All right, remember I said we're going to go revisit the eyes? So let's get out a black marker. Let me find my black marker. And what we want to do is we want to outline this V. Make that eyeball stand out more. And if you can, let it just go a little bit further. And then we're going to outline the other eye. And we are done. Who's cuter, me or them? All right, so we've got a side profile looking that direction, and we also have a front view profile looking straight at you. And we could tell by the way the eye is positioned, and the eye is going that way, and the eye is going that way. His mouth, she's happy, he's happy, we're all happy. All right, that's it for our Picasso Frankenstein. What do you think? Did you like this one? I hope you guys like this project. But listen, talk to your teacher, tell her what you'd like to work on, and I'll do it. I'll be happy to do it. All right? So kids, have a good day. I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope you miss me as much as I miss you. And I'll see you guys all soon. Don't you worry. It's happening. And don't forget, Halloween's coming. Halloween's coming. What are you going to be? I'm going to be a art teacher. What do you think of that? All right, guys. This is Miss Lisa, your art teacher, saying ciao for now from my table of art. And I'll see you guys next week.